Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Urban Meyer sizes up Jack Sawyer's pro outlook as ex-Ohio State star readies for 2025 NFL Scouting Combine. No college football program has more players represented at the 2025 NFL Scouting Combine in Indianapolis than Ohio State. Among the 15 former Buckeyes aiming to boost their stock for the upcoming draft is star edge rusher Jack Sawyer, who performs in front of scouts and coaches at Lucas Oil Stadium this week. Although Sawyer projects as an early-round selection, there remain some questions about whether his skill set can translate to the NFL. Jack Sawyer of Ohio State, I actually recruited him, former Ohio State coach Urban Meyer said, via the Triple Option podcast. I offered him a scholarship, I believe, his freshman year of high school. Became a household name after the Texas fumble recovery. Tremendous player, tremendous leader. The question is, does he have the skill set of Chase Young, Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa, Sam Hubbard, the other great defensive ends that come out of Ohio State? All heart. Toughness. Does he have the skill set? We'll find out at the Combine. CBS Sports NFL draft analyst Ryan Wilson projects Sawyer to be selected by the Detroit Lions with the number 28 overall pick in the first round of his latest mock draft. Sawyer earned his second All-Big Ten honor this past season, playing a key role in Ohio State winning its first national championship in 11 years. He was named Cotton Bowl Defensive MVP after sealing the Buckeyes' win over Texas with a fourth-quarter fumble return for a touchdown following a strip sack of Quinn Ewers, his former roommate in Columbus. Sawyer ended his four-year career at Ohio State with 144 total tackles, including 29 for loss with 23 sacks, an interception, 10 additional pass breakups, 3 fumble recoveries, 2 of which were returned for a touchdown, and 6 forced fumbles. While J.T. Tuimoloau had the better statistical final collegiate season, most mock drafts have Sawyer coming off the board ahead of his former edge rushing teammates, Bucknuts Patrick Murphy wrote. However, their performances at the NFL Combine will help determine how high each player goes. Both should be able to showcase their different skills in the drills and potentially boost their stocks. Either way, Tuimoloau and Sawyer are going to make their future NFL teams happy. But in a friendly competition between these two defensive ends, it will be interesting to see who is selected higher. Ship has sailed on Steelers re-signing big-name free agent, Insider. Outside of the quarterback position, the Pittsburgh Steelers' top 2025 free agents in terms of snap percentage are left tackle Dan Moore Jr., who's not expected to return, cornerback Dante Jackson, wide receiver Van Jefferson and running back Najee Harris. Of those 4 UFAs, the former first-round pick and 4-time 1,000-yard rusher, Harris, is the biggest name by far. For most of the offseason, there have been conflicting reports when it comes to Harris potentially re-signing in NFL free agency this spring. Some reporters have ruled it out completely while others have left the door open due to head coach Mike Tomlin's relationship with the durable 71-game starter. On February 26, longtime Steelers beat reporter and team insider Mark Kaboly, Pat McAfee Show, provided a pretty definitive update on Harris's chances of returning while speaking on 93.7 The Fan with the Pomp and Joe show. It didn't sound like it, Kaboly responded when asked if he thinks there's still an opportunity for Harris to ink a new deal in Pittsburgh. General Manager, Omar Khan, pretty much rubber-stamped the Jaylen Warren restricted free agent tender coming up here within the next week or two, to be able to bring him back, and then they'll probably add somebody there in the free agency market and draft somebody right there. So, I think it's going to take a lot of negative things to happen to Najee Harris for them to even consider him coming back, Kaboly concluded. Adding, honestly, I think that ship has sailed. On February 25, the Draft Network's Ryan Fowler reported that Boise State star running back Ashton Jeanty has a formal meeting scheduled with the Steelers. One day later on February 26, Fowler reported the same thing about Oklahoma State running back Ollie Gordon too. Although Cabally referred to meetings like Janty's as due diligence, it's clear that Khan and his team have begun the process of taking a closer look at members of this deep and talented RB class. Needless to say, that doesn't bode well for Harris. In terms of team fit, North Carolina runner Omarion Hampton has been linked to the Steelers quite a bit, although a formal meeting has yet to be reported at the NFL Combine. NFL Network draft analyst Bucky Brooks sent Hampton to the Steelers at number 21 overall during a recent mock draft on February 25. Reasoning: the Steelers need an elite running back to impose their will on opponents in the way Mike Tomlin and Arthur Smith envision. Hampton is an A-plus talent with the size, 6 foot, 220 pounds, athleticism and raw power to thrive as a workhorse in a ground-and-pound offense. Myles Garrett's contract rumors light fire under Steelers to act fast with TJ Watt. We know it's only a matter of time before the Pittsburgh Steelers hand TJ Watt another lofty contract extension. But after the latest report, Omar Khan and the front office must act fast. Watt isn't the only superstar edge rusher in the market for a lucrative new contract. Joining him are high-profile All-Pros Micah Parsons and Myles Garret. Garret, who was the 2023 Defensive Player of the Year, requested a trade this offseason, though the Cleveland Browns have not granted the request. But what's even scarier than Garret staying in Cleveland and potentially facing the Steelers for the rest of his career is the record-setting contract coming his way. According to Browns beat writer Mary Kay Cabot, Garret seeks $40 million per season in average annual earnings on a new contract. General Manager Andrew Berry is also open to signing him to a blockbuster extension which would likely make him the highest-paid defensive player in the NFL at about $40 million a year, Cabot proclaimed via More for You Cleveland. Entering the 2025 offseason, the average annual earnings of the top 5 edge rushers in the NFL is $28.6 million, with Nick Bosa leading the pack at $34 million per season, per over the cap. This unheard-of projection proves the Steelers must act fast on a TJ Watt contract extension. Earlier in the week, NFL insider Tony Pauline predicted that the Pittsburgh Steelers could be in line to hand Watt a deal in the ballpark of $35 to $37 million per season. Unfortunately, if Myles Garret or Micah Parsons' extension comes first, Omar Khan and the front office can kiss any trace of a team-friendly contract goodbye. Watt's price is going to be steep no matter what. But if Garret resets the market with contract figures averaging around $40 million per season, the Steelers will have no choice but to follow suit. Sadly, we can envision a scenario where the Steelers make a poor financial move when it comes to Watt's new contract. Despite the Hall of Fame resume he has built over the years, the Steelers will be paying for the numbers that he put up in the past, not for the player they think they will be getting at age 31 and beyond. The last thing we want to see is fans become resentful toward Watt because he's not living up to his contract numbers in his 30s. The Steelers can avoid all of this by getting on top of the situation. However, we could see a repeat of the 2021 offseason. 4 years ago, Watt's party staged a training camp hold-in until Watt finally marched to the facility and inked his extension just before the start of the season. If contract disputes drag out this long for the Steelers, it's going to cost them. As soon as Garret resets the market, Watt's agent will use Garrett's new contract as a baseline in negotiations. To ensure this doesn't happen, Khan needs to come in swift and hot with an offer Watt can't refuse. Based on Garrett's jaw-dropping contract projections, the Steelers should offer $37 million per season with the first 2 years fully guaranteed. This would make Watt the highest-paid edge rusher in NFL history, that is until Garret and Parsons get their deals. The time to act is now. And you, fan? What do you think of Myles Garrett's situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.